Good evening, Shubha Sandhya, Jai Jagannath, Samastung Namaskar. नीलाद्रो शङ्खमध्ये शतदलकमले रत्नसिंहासनस्थं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तं नवघनरुचिरं संयुतं जागृतेन भद्राय वामभागे रथचरणयुतं ब्रह्मरुद्रेन्द्र वन्द्यं वेदनं सारमेशं सृजन परिवृतं ब्रह्मदारु स्मरामि परम कारुणिक अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांडर मौढ़मणि कोटि कोटि ओडियांकर हृदयर आराध्य देवता समग्र विश्वचराचर रसष्टा आनंद कंद परमानंद सच्चिदानंद अखिल रसघन विग्रह विश्व वेदनार वैद्य देवाधिदेव श्री श्री जगन्नाथंकर चरण कमल रे ए अकिंचनर कोटि कोटि प्रणाम. Solidarity through volunteerism. The observation of International Volunteer Day, अंतर्जातिक स्वच्छता दिवस इसी अवसर पर मैं डॉक्टर नमिता पटनायक being the Assistant State Commissioner, host and convener at this 134 national webinar and live सबको गूगल बोर्ड को निमंत्रित करती हूँ, स्वागत करती हूँ यहाँ पर इसी अवसर पर. So today we are having a very good, another auspicious day. As you all know, today is the birthday of our Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So on this aspect, I request Dibyanshu Padhi. Dibyanshu Padhi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us enchant one sloka from Holy Gita. Then SREEYA will enchant the sloka. Then we'll start the program.
Okay,
Over
madam.
to Dibyanshu. Yes.
Namaskar, madam.
Yes, Dibyanshu.
Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ प्रथमोऽध्याय अर्जुन विषादयोगः. धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय. सञ्जय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दूर्योधनस्तथा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्. पश्चैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणामाचार्य महतीं च मूं व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता. अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथा.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Respected principal, the president of this webinar, Dr. Nalini Prabha Mahapatra ji, esteemed Chief Commissioner Odisha, Bharat Scouts and Guide, and National Vice President, Dr. K.P. Misesa, revered speaker of today's evening, Advocate Biraja Mahapatra ji, the eminent author, Mrs. RASHMI Rekha Samantray, assistant teacher, Police Line High School, Puri, all my dear students, volunteers, respected principals, professors, teachers from different colleges, and friends from other states like Jammu and Kashmir, Mustafa ji, Harendra ji, and Pune Jai ji, our media people, Sonu ji, journalist from Bihar, from HR Department of School and Mass Education, Dr. Osama ji, and all the staff members of Mercy College of Natural Law and Rovers and Rangers. On behalf of Rover and Ranger Unit of Mercy College of Natural Law, we are going to start this 134th National Webinar. The topic or the title being Solidarity through Volunteerism. And on this observation of International Volunteer Day, welcome Sunita ji from Bihar. Vijay Dekha from Assam. It's really a very important day for all of us to see and to discuss about what is exactly the volunteerism is. We have got UN House declared 17 goals and we have to work on that. So many things are there. But on this occasion, let us, before welcoming my friend and the guest of today's evening, Biraja Mahapatra ji, the advocate and the author, I'd like to request our smallest participant, Sai SREEYA. Yes, just enchant one sloka, please. I think these are the children, those who are present over here, they are my God and goddesses. Without their blessing, without their participation, I can't start. So let us listen from Sai SREEYA. Okay, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, Sai.
कर्पूरघोरम् कर्पूरघोरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि. Thank you.
Sai SREEYA. She is from Shamalpur Convent School. She is only 8 years old. She is having an exam. So thank you, Sai SREEYA. I'm grateful to you, my dear.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, as your host and convener for today's webinar, I have to introduce the guest of today's evening. I'm very happy and very honestly speaking, I'm really grateful to my friend who is residing at Delhi, but he accept my request to enlighten us something about solidarity in volunteerism today. And really, I'm very much grateful to Biraja Mahapatra ji. About him, what I can say, he himself is a glorified person. Everybody will ask the Google, suddenly find this photograph, which photo I have given here, so that it will be very easy for you to identify him. So, a very warm welcome, gentlemen, ladies. Before I begin with 134th webinar, I would like to say you one thing. As all of you know, Solidarity through Volunteerism, it is our title, but which remain untouched by this issue particularly. I'm sure you will all agree that no matter where we go, you will particularly in any public sector, whether any educational institution or any administrative department, we find volunteerism in every sphere. But it may vary from person to person, from place to place, and from time to time. So sometimes we feel that it should be it should be asked to everybody to join. Why? Why we should ask? Let them volunteer to join because sorry, we have already crossed 100. That means we are already family member. So every day we are having something new, something very important things to discuss, very pertinent issue. So today also we are having a very pertinent issue. In this time, um, you will be see he is not a guest, rather than he is a versatile speaker on this particular issue, a very synonym name in Orissa and widely acclaimed for his assiduous knowledge about not only constitution but also different different parts of political science, historic event of our country. He is the icon of Odisha Writers Society, I can say. And I have my exalted pleasure to introduce the great personality, Mr. Biraja Mahapatra from Delhi, who is a well-known advocate in Delhi High Court, in Supreme Court, who wrote many books. Only two books, if I'll say, you can catch the word, Trend to Talkir. It's really an amazing book. You'll be glad to know that after reading this book, there was a thrilling experience. What happened, you know? Uh, Now you're having that Talcher train. It is that book which impressed the Department of Rail, and you have find out this book has got some importance in our life. Whatever you want to tell, if you will go through writing, through column writing, in paper, in newspaper, in corner, everybody will look at this and it becomes the root of everything. Similarly, he has written many books. If you come across in the Google, you'll find, and that helps not only me, but also the entire citizen groups, for which you'll find many change in the society. So he becomes the change. And he is the founder of Civil Society Build BIG, that is the Civil Society Build India Group, and in the year 2008. And what is the work he will narrate to rather than me. So, when we have a citizenary campaign, that is campaigner meeting, a group highly dedicated, some volunteers who are working to involve about students, and unique message will go for a mass communication program, like your tobacco free India, or so many program. But who are the real source or a source of inspiration behind it? It is Mr. Mahapatra. He has got some special avenue towards writing poems, writing story, and writing some columns because his academic career. I'll just tell you, he has passed out MA in history from Utkal University, and also he is passed out the PG diploma in English journalism from IIMC Denkanal. That was established in the year 1992, and the same year he joined over there, and also LLB from Utkal University Law College, and many more cross courses he might be. That makes no difference for us. But the question is how he involved himself in the change of the society to bring a radical change in the society. So I welcome you, Mr. Mahapatra. Virtually, I want to welcome, sir, on behalf of my webinar team.
What happened? Is there anything wrong? Am I visible? There's some problem. Or you are recording?
So it's a recorded program.
Okay.
I
Okay.
welcome through this video and
Okay.
virtually our speaker of today's evening. Now,
Okay.
we'll listen from Biraja sir. Prior to that, I'd like to say only few things about this volunteerism. I'll not say anything about solidarity because how to establish solidarity through volunteerism, it is the topic which will be discussed by him. But the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. We always say service to mankind is service to God. But what is that exactly? That means you have to lose yourself. खुद को पूरा घुमा लो और अंदर छुपा लो। किसके अंदर? जिसको तुम बहुत प्यार देते हो, जिसके लिए कुछ करने के लिए चाहते हो। So on this auspicious day, once again, I welcome all of you. Be the change you want to see. But if you want to change the world, be yourself in that change. Then only there will be a change. That may be a small, but may be a radical change. But you must be there. एंड बैकग्राउंड में बैठ के बोलना ठीक नहीं है, हमको कुछ करना है. इट्स टाइम, हाई टाइम टू स्पीक समथिंग, टू वर्क समथिंग, नॉट ओनली टू स्पीक समथिंग. So it is very easy to stand on a crowd. Yes, somebody is there, somebody is there, somebody is there. But it takes courage to stand alone. And we are happy. I am standing in front of you in a virtual mode in this crowd. But I'm happy that it takes me courage to stand before you. Stand alone. Sure. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Sure. Learn as if you were to live forever. कुछ ना कुछ सीखना है, कुछ ना कुछ करना है. और ये मेरा इंटरेस्ट है. स्टूडेंट मोटिवेशन, टीचर मोटिवेशन towards a better society. So to make a better society, we are having with us today Mr. Mahapatra, Biraja Mahapatra ji will speak to us what will make change through volunteerism, through this solidarity. So now over to Sir Advocate Mahapatra ji. Yes, sir. Now I can address.
The introduction became a thesis on a story to be told. Thank you. Thank you, Principal Dr. Mahapatra. Thank you, Namita. I'm finding many people from across the country being participants. So I get thrilled in sharing my views on the subject. Towards the last part of your discourse at the time of introduction, you said you lose yourself to be on the top of the world, to be the leader in service. Gandhiji, quoting Gandhiji. I quote Bhima Bhoi from Odisha, a larger one. We find this quote in the precincts of Parliament. Praninka arata dukha apramita dekhu dekhu keba sahu mo jibana pache nakke paditau jagata uddhara hev. For those who are not Odias, because I am told there are people from various parts of the country, if I translate, it would read, it's unbearable to see the pains and agony of all living beings. Let this universe be saved. Let my life go to hell. So basically, Whether you are a political leader, whether you are a scientist, whether you are a social activist, whatever you are, it's all about yourself linking your consciousness to a larger consciousness. That is called volunteerism, and it's a matter of attitude. Well, this year the topic is solidarity. Little introduction about the idea of promoting volunteerism in the world. UN General Assembly time and again sat and found out in 1985 that this is one sector which is actually responsible for bringing about change in the whole world. Think of any revolution. The leaders are who? They're first volunteers. Look at the politicians. What are they? At the very inception, they're volunteers. Your school, college, you are having monitors. Who are they? They're volunteers. And you find a volunteer in a mother. When she takes care of the child, what is her expectation? You see a volunteer in a father. What is his expectation? So, keeping all these in view, to encourage participants in social change, the harbingers of social change. In 1985, United Nations General Assembly recognized that this particular area needs to be promoted. Like earlier, they used to promote the sentiments, the perceptions, and the actions in the field of science, technology, education, culture, and myriad other subjects. So that's how in 2001, a new theme came that every year we'll have a new theme, and accordingly we will promote, we will respect, we will organize and help them work for the society to achieve sustainable goals, because challenges are many in a society where there is violence, there is war, there is cyclone, there is drought, there is various like COVID kind of situation that we have seen. That's the reason why United Nations General Assembly wanted to create a culture worldwide to help promote the social activists who are ultimately the leaders, the change makers, and these change makers are created in college environment like this, where Dr. Namita Pattanaik is taking a leading role. Kudos to Namita Pattanaik. Okay. Had it been a hall, I would have said a big round of applause for Namita Pattanaik. Well, so you need some models in front of you. And you have today Lions Club, Rotary Club, Red Cross. In India, you have Ramakrishna Mission, Lok Sevak Mandal, YMCA, YWCA, like many. I think in India today, there are more than 4 lakh or 5 lakh NGOs working. But these are, invariably, we see them as models. But we have got another problem here today. If today is Volunteers Day and Soil Day, then yesterday it was some Doctors Day and some, I think, Nabi Day. Every day is some day. Every week we celebrate some day. We look at ourselves through the eyes of the West. At times I also wonder, why should we look at ourselves through the eyes of West? But then it reminds me that if tomorrow is my birthday, Namita Pattanaik will call me and say, "Hi, bhai, happy birthday." And it feels good. If I call Namita Pattanaik and say, "Oh, madam, happy birthday," definitely she feels good. But when it comes to a topic, when it comes to an issue, it reminds us of our responsibility. How much have we done in the last 1 year? How much can we do? How much can we go ahead? How much work plan we can execute in the future year? So challenges are galore. When we talk of attitude, we need not look at UN General Assembly. We need not look at big books. Today's session began with some Jagannatha right? Lord Jagannath. I always find inspiration from the name itself. If you don't mind, I little elaborate without any intention to hurt anyone. If you go to Dwaraka, you see Dwarakanath. If you go to Badrika, you see Badrinath. If you come to Puri, you see Jagannath. The whole human race is split into three parts, three colors: black, white, and yellow. See the Trinity? They represent three colors: black, white, and yellow. He is above all faiths, all religions, Lord of universe, and Redeemer of pains. We call him Patita Pavan. What is it? The concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is truly in practice in Orissan culture. We do not, as a part of our culture of which we are very proud of, encourage or should encourage any casteism, any religious status. We love human beings. We love animality. We love human beings. We love the planet. And that is what Lord of Universe stands for, Jagannath. And if you love the universe, if you consider the whole globe as a family, if you consider the whole globe as a part of extension of your home, the world becomes your village, your home. And that is what exactly the Indian culture stands for. And that is why we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole earth is a family. In fact, the best possible moment will be that when all people in the world say that the whole world is my family. I own my world. When I say I own my world, I own Namita, I own Shreeyanshu, I own Dilip, I own everyone. All are my people. Himmat hai, throw me away. I don't mind. You are mine. Throw me away. I don't mind. That's what is the highest form of volunteerism. We may not look at the West. Let us look at ourselves and look around. But the problem today is, if 30-40 years ago, I used to see a village, then I used to carpenters residing together. I used to see oil makers are residing together. Today, because of the transition, technological advancement, people have migrated to different parts of the world. They do not have time. My son does not like to interact with my visitors. He always sits with his mobile and a laptop or mobile telephone. He doesn't interact. If it happens, then what is the question of we interacting with others? And if we do not interact with others, what is the question of we standing by others? A challenge that is likely to come. An indication I will be sharing in the form of a story. A little bit of part of my experience. What happened? Two brothers were traveling by a car. They were coming from Haridwar to Delhi. National highway. Very early in the morning, they found that a man was lying in a pool of blood. A motorcycle is on the left side. And perhaps he was recently, just before that, hit by a huge vehicle, big vehicle, maybe a truck, maybe a bus or something. The younger brother was driving the car. He was on the wheels. Suddenly, the younger brother applied the brake, wanted to help. Somebody is lying in a pool of blood. Why should I not try to help him? The other man, the elder brother, said, "Are you mad? What do you think of yourself? You will pick up somebody from the roadside and tomorrow police will trouble you? They are not. Let's go." The elder brother insisted the younger brother on the wheels, and they traveled past the scene. Around 10 o'clock, it happened early in the morning in the wee hours. Around 10 o'clock, police people came, calling them to find out that if this was the address, showed some iCard, and it transpired, ladies and gentlemen, this elder brother was the father of that boy. Imagine, what did he do? What did he do? Imagine. And this gentleman started crying in front of others. "Nobody helped my son. My son must have struggled a lot on the road." Why did it happen? If you could not do it, if you couldn't gather the courage, at least you shouldn't have stopped your younger brother. He could have saved your son's life. Right? It brings me to another beautiful story. Attitude. It's a question of attitude. What happened in the seashore? One old man and a grandson both are taking a stroll early in the morning. The child found that the sea wave threw a shoal of fish towards the land. The cute child rushed to the spot and started throwing one fish. Then his grandfather said, "What are you doing? You are soiling your hand. Don't do that. There are so many, hundreds. How many can you clear? What difference will you make by throwing one?" Then the cute child said, "I saved one fish, life of one fish. Let me try another. Oh, Dadaji, the second one also got life. Let me try the third one." Then Dadaji joined this cute child. When two persons started working on this, others also started joining them. And few moments, they saved most of the aqua animals, all these fish together. Possible? I will share another beautiful experience of myself, which might surprise you. I say with a sense of pride. It happened in 1978. I belong to a small village in Odisha's erstwhile Puri district, near Rajsunaka, near Ranpur. Those days, Ranpur was infamous for criminal activity. Almost every day, people used to hear gunshots, dakayati. And almost every day, in the newspaper, people used to find that dakayats decamped with so much of money. So many people were killed, raped, murdered. Almost every 2 days, 3 days, there used to be a story in the newspaper. It so happened one day in February 78, that a friend of mine, the Dacoits entered into the house of a very close friend of mine. They decamped with valuables. They used bombs there. So next morning, 3 of my villagers, right in front of my house, were discussing that almost all villages have become victims. Perhaps our village is left out, a village which comprises just 40-50 houses, and hardly there is anybody to protest. One forest officer, retired forest officer, suggested that if 4 or 5 youngsters put a whistle around the village, take a round, and say, "Basti wale husiyar," then perhaps the villagers should be alarmed in case these dacoits hit. One gentleman started cutting jokes with him. He said, "Let's start from this house. There is a young boy of 12 years who can scream to the high heaven. He will hold a bamboo stick and take the leadership." The 2 others were not very happy. He was referring to my house, where me and myself, I have a younger brother. I was 12-year-old. My younger brother was hardly 8-year-old. Mother heard of it. And around evening, my mother told me, "You please sleep a little early. I'll wake you up around 12 o'clock in the night. We'll have to do a particular job." So around 12 o'clock, I was made to be ready with a lathi at hand, covered myself well with sweater and shawl, and my immediate neighbor must be snoring at his house. Right in front of his house, I started, "Basti wale hosiyar." He immediately woke up, asked me, "What happened, beta?" I said, "Join me. We'll take a round around the village." My mother was sitting outside my house, and I said, "You please call 2 others." I was hardly 12-year-old. And we took a round around that village 3 times in the night, around up to 3 o'clock. What happened is, because he was the village head, he ensured another 4 persons continue with this exercise from the next day onwards. We found in the 10th, on the 8th day, because my next turn would be coming on the 8th day, almost all villages around, because they are victims of a situation, they continued moving around their villages with torchlights and lanterns, screaming to the high heaven, "Basti wale hosiyar." The result was, Dacoity stopped for all time to come. At least, now I cannot say, but at least for 20 years. Because it continued. This is called chain action plan. This happens. You can bring about a change, provided you have the right attitude you display. And this is what we have learned from our culture. If you go back to the ancient time, sorry, there is disturbance. Should I continue?
Yes, please.
Right. Am I properly audible?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Now, if we go back to our ancient time, we have heard Paropakaraya Sargaya. In Upanishad, Taitreya na kya hai? There is a very well-known quote that is said, Atithi Devo Bhava. We have heard of Danam. Give as much as you can. We have the story of Harishchandra. We have the story of Karna. And what kind of Danam? Offer? You give Anna, food. You give Srama, work, Vastra, cloth, and Gyan. And then while so doing, you have to follow aparigraha. Means take bare necessity. Don't take more than what is required. Then only you become a model. Isn't it? That you can find in almost all faiths, whether Christianity, whether Islam, or whether Buddhism, any faith. 2 or 3 quotes I think it comes to my mind. In Jataka, Buddhism, how many stories they have? Jataka stories? Perhaps they have 550 stories. And one of the basic foundations of these Jataka stories is something like this: so long as the sky and the world exist, my existence will be here for the eradication of the miseries of all living beings. Let me suffer all the suffering of beings, and let the world be happy by dint of merits of me. This is what Buddhism says. I think the beginning that I made, Praninka Arata Dukha Pramita. Dekhu dekhu kya baso. Rabindranath Tagore, the man who talked about villages must grow to their potential, says, Biswa jadi jale jaye kandite kandite, ami kintu basirabo mukti samadhite. If the universe sinks into the water of tears, I will be in penance for its salvation. So, the Gandhiji talisman, you must have been very, most of the volunteers, they know about this Gandhiji's talisman. What does it say? Recollect the face of the weakest person you come across, and then ask yourself what difference you can make. And see, will you be able to restore to that person the dignity? Will you make himself self-reliant? Ask yourself, if you can do that, then perhaps you will see what change you want to bring about. So, the best way is to lose yourself in the service of others. Now, think of, could French Revolution be possible had there been no volunteers? Could freedom movement in India be possible in the absence of volunteers? In Odisha, there is a huge change that we saw in 1870s. Possibly, Odia language could have been in oblivion. The first civil society of the country came in. And Utkal Samaj, Gopabandhu Das, Madhusudan Das, Fakir Mohan, they became the harbingers of change and saved the language. But why I say this? Take Martin Luther King, take Gandhiji, take Desmond Tutu, take Buddha, take Mahavira, take Prophet Muhammad. Any great person in the country, whether it is Shankaracharya, any great person in the world, we remember because they made themselves relevant. You become relevant to others when your contribution to them bring about a change in them and could resolve their problems. That is called the attitude in volunteerism. When I say so, today I find volunteerism is no charity. When I say that the whole universe is my family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, all are belonging to me, belonging to my family, and I render myself in the service of themselves, of all these people, all. So what is the question of myself being? Article 51A of the Constitution, which calls for fundamental duties. You must discharge your fundamental duties. And it is open-ended. If you do it, then what will happen? I come back to myself, to my house. What is a house? House means a structure with wall, with a window, with some furniture inside. When does it become a home? When the people living within this house live with each other in perfect harmony and love, a house is converted into a home. Similarly, the extension of house, if it is country, when citizens belonging to the country develop their sense of belonging to the land and demonstrate their action, their love for the land in action, then the country gets the maximum benefit. It becomes a country-centric culture develops. Nationalism takes a new color in the interest of the country, and the country becomes a nation. So therefore, country is a physical construct, having a land, having a boundary, people and government. Nation becomes one, an emotional construct, the most powerful one. The moment you make it a nation, it becomes relevant to the whole world. And you go towards, you cannot achieve, you go towards achieving the concept of universalism, universal brotherhood. And in that event, your identity will be even larger. Your identity will not be Indian. You become a global man. Gandhi is a global man. Gandhi is not an Indian just. Buddha is a global man. Prophet Muhammad is a global man. If at all he was. So this is how you become relevant. But what challenges now we are facing today is because we are in the selfish world. Once a child gets his education, the first thing that he is being taught that you please try hard and settle yourself, get some money. And these people, trust me, become the beneficiaries of volunteerism. And those who become beneficiaries of volunteerism, they are rarely leaders. Society needs leaders, and these leaders emerge from volunteers. Volunteerism is nothing but a penance. It's a penance for the society. And If they get together, you can withstand any kind of calamity. And that is how, ladies and gentlemen, Ramakrishna Mission or Red Cross or YWCA or all these organizations have our name and fame, not just because by slogans, but because they dedicated themselves for a cause, in the service of their world, in the service of their nation, in the service of the communities they come across. And that is what this solidarity is. In agreement, to be in agreement with others is called solidarity. So I think I was supposed to speak for about half an hour. I did say about half an hour or more, little more. If you want more to continue, I will. Otherwise, Namita, I sign it up here.
No, please continue. We are very happy. बहुत अच्छे लगता है. And then you'll speak about your books also.
We can
How
continue.
you have written,
Continue.
and something, yes. Yeah, one of your friend, advocate friend from Puri, he is saying that please continue. Mr. Lala Ananta Kumar Singh.
Okay. No, actually, I have got some other errand, but then I will continue a little more. Yes, tell me.
Yes,
Hello,
Sumita ji, बोलिए.
In Hindi. Some guests
Ah.
want you to speak in Hindi.
Yeah.
Arey,
Yes.
Sumita.
Salima ji, she is from Jammu and Kashmir. She wants. Yes, Sumita, Salima Parveen ji.
सलीमा जी, माफ कर दीजिए, मैं कोशिश करूंगा 2 मिनट हिंदी में बोलने के लिए, लेकिन नमस्ते, लेकिन मेरी हिंदी.
Good evening.
आज हम बड़े इम्प्रेस हुए हैं आपके बोलने से, बहुत मजा आया है जब आपने स्पीच किया. वेरी नाइस सर, वेरी नाइस. आई एम प्राउड ऑफ यू.
तो फिर
बहुत अच्छा बोला आपने, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा है.
ठंडी में बैठे हैं.
और मैडम, और हमारी मैडम जो है ये चैनल चला रही है, बहुत खूब चला रही है. हमें बहुत अच्छा लगता है इसके साथ बैठना, इसके साथ बात करना, बहुत अच्छा लगता है. पर क्या करें, यहाँ बहुत ठंड है.
बहुत ठंड
आप
है.
देखते नहीं, कश्मीर में बहुत ठंड है.
हमें भी बुलाइए,
ये देखिए ना,
हम आके कश्मीर का
आप सब
केवा
देखिए
पिएंगे
ना,
आपके
टोपा
साथ.
है, मफलर है, और सर कंबल है, और वाटर बोतल है.
सलीमा जी कभी बुलाइए, हम आपके पास आके केवा पिएंगे.
आइए ना, वेलकम वेलकम सर, वेलकम. आइए सर, मोस्ट वेलकम. आ जाइए.
एक
यहाँ
छोटा सा
बर्फबारी होती है ना, मुसीबत. आइए, अच्छा लगेगा आपके साथ यहाँ.
नमस्ते. कोई
और नमस्ते जी, नमस्ते सर, नमस्ते. कैसे आप, ठीक है ना?
बढ़िया.
बस अल्लाह करे सब ठीक ठाक रहे, खुश रहे. हमारी तो बस यही दुआ है.
कभी आपके
सब
पास
ठीक,
आएंगे
और
ना,
हमारी स्काउटिंग आगे चले. हमारी स्काउटिंग बंद ना हो जाए, हमारी स्काउटिंग आगे चले.
All
जी,
right.
जी.
All right. So what else should I say? I think I can share one more experience
जी.
about again myself. In 2008,
Yes.
I think I will go back a little behind to make it more relevant. I was a journalist in a news agency called PTI.
Yes.
And in my early days in PTI, I am from Odisha. I was not very well conversant in English. I was not able to speak well in English then. And Hindi, as usual, has to be awful because I'm from Odisha. So in my first interaction, one of my editors, he virtually misbehaved me. I'm not supposed to say that, but for a purpose, I'm sharing this experience. And he said, अगर आपको हिंदी मालूम नहीं है तो आपको हिंदुस्तान में रहने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है. And
मेरे कहा ये अच्छी बड़ी बात है कि जिसको हिंदी नहीं आती तो हिंदुस्तान रहने का नाम न ले.
तो ये सेंटेंस मुझे बहुत चुभा. And
आप ऐसा
I-
कीजिए सर, वो अंग्रेजी सारे बुक्स बंद कीजिए।
सुन लीजिए, सुन लीजिए, सुन लीजिए,
हाँ,
सुन लीजिए।
जी बताइए। इंग्लिश बुक्स बंद कीजिए, सभी को हिंदी, संस्कृत, फारसी, अरबिक ये पढ़वा दो,
तो
बाकी बंद कर दो।
मैंने in response, I was a professional, I was a trainee. In
मैडम को बोलो,
response,
मैडम प्रोफेसर है ना।
okay. In what happened is, in response, I became very unpleasant. I became
Yes,
very
yes.
ugly. I told him, sir, 73% of Indian people do not know Hindi.
Okay.
So do you think they do not deserve to live in this country? Or because of people like you, some idiots, this country is suffering today? The matter took such an ugly turn that I was called to the general manager's office. Perhaps I could have been fired. And I said, I stand by what I say. I believe in Indianness. I am an Indian and I continue to be an Indian. And these people are creating problem in emotional integration of this country. Few years down the line, I traveled to Kashmir. I traveled to Kanyakumari in search of Indianness. Why? You please see after independence. Sorry. Okay. Please see. Prior to independence, please stop in between. Kindly stop. Kindly stop having conversation in between. Okay. Now, what? I lost my
It happens.
Anyway. So,
flow attack कटी जाए.
Correct. Now, what happened was, I found prior to independence, India was a land of 562 kingdoms. People were subjects in their respective kingdoms. So our culture was place-specific, kingdom-specific. So the identity retained, somebody is a Bengali, somebody is an Odia, somebody is a Marathi, somebody is a Kashmiri. So you travel across the country, you will be finding a Marathi, you will be finding a Bengali or Odia, but you won't find an Indian.
Must.
It's because in the past, this sense of belonging to the country or identity of being an Indian had never been cultivated. So this is what was my realization. And a little more study I found in 1962. Jawaharlal Nehru was in tears. He called Dr. Sampurnananda, a great scholar, Sanskrit scholar, and asked him that there is an internal report of China which says India is not India in the absence of Indianness. What do we do? Our educated people are more concerned about their family, about their money, about their settlement, security. They are not worried about the country. There's bhad mein jaye. What do we do? So he found out a plan. He said, all right, you introduce Janagana Mana Adhinayak in the cinema halls. You introduce Bande Mataram in cinema halls. Oh, that will do. What will you do? Will that do? Will that foster emotional integration? Then in 1966, a pledge was adopted in government schools, in central, in CBSE schools, central schools. And interestingly, there is a sentence in the second line, all Indians are my brothers and sisters. So I went to deliver a talk in a school here in Delhi, in Mothers International. One 7th class child says, sir, there is a fault in our pledge wherein it is said, all Indians are my brothers and sisters, then who will be my wife? Keeping all these in view, in 2008, I developed a think tank called Build India Group. A pledge was written. My wife was a principal in a school. वो प्लेस था हम भारत के लोग आज ईमानदारी, कर्तव्यनिष्ठा और प्रतिबद्धता के साथ अपने सोच, कर्म और कथनी में देश के हित को सर्वोपरि रखते हुए इस भूमि के यश हेतु राष्ट्र की सेवा में अंतःकरण से आत्मार्पित करते हैं। तो ये जो प्लेस था, all children were made to write it in their mother tongue, obviously Hindi, and obtained signatures from their parents. That school had a strength of 2,400 students. So when parents signed it, the number became more than 5,000, rather nearly 6,000. They came rushing to the school. What is it all about? And the students said, it's all about citizenry consciousness. The impact was such that we got it translated in 15 languages. Today it is translated in 22 languages with uniformity in content. Because according to me, you must connect your sense of belonging to the land in your mother tongue. Respect your mother tongue so that you understand your culture. You love your language. Otherwise, you won't love your mother. Love your language. And trust me, we did not take money from any government organization as a civil society. We used to organize this program on 3rd Saturday of January. And January means the entire month is, I'm in trouble. Every day, unfailingly, 50 to 60 telephone calls I would be receiving from college principals, school principals, that we are holding this program, what should we do? Perhaps it may have crossed anything beyond 15,000 educational institutions across the country. In 2015, one Odia MP, A.V. Swami, he collected this text from me. He said, Mahapatra, I am joining you. He took this idea and discussed in the forum of parliament. Incidentally, the Prime Minister had taken a political call that year. There was an interesting event. What happened in Bihar, Mohan Bhagavat made a statement that this government is not very much in favor of reservation. So it created ruckus because Ramvilas Paswan was there. To assuage that, in Bombay, Modi ji unveiled a bust of B.R. Ambedkar, statue of B.R. Ambedkar, and said, in his memory, we will be celebrating November 26th as the Constitution Day. It was just a political call. A.B. Swami had written plethora of letters on behalf of Build India Group to Modi, saying that there has to be a day when all people across the country should place their love and loyalty to the country as a mark of respect to the Constitution with fundamental duty as the theme. So when A.B. Swami started screaming in Parliament, Prime Minister constituted a committee of 3 cabinet ministers. T.C. Gehlot, Jewel Oram, and Prakash Javadekar. Few days later, we got a call from Prakash Javadekar. He said, what is so great about 26 November? 26 November, Constitution was adopted. January 26, it was implemented. So 26 November pales into insignificance. I said, no, sir. 26 November is the most significant day in the history of this country. Yeah, why so? Then I said, people of this country were declared as the owners of this country on this particular day because the Constituent Assembly adopted the preamble. It starts with the people of India. The last line is, give this Constitution to ourselves. So people who are subjects in their respective kingdoms, 562 kingdoms, hitherto, became the owners of this great land. What a transition. Which transition has happened in such a day? And that is how our Constitution Day was decided. It was decided to link fundamental duties as the theme of the Constitution Day. So I say a big dream is seen by one individual. It happens with one, but it travels to many if it has a relevance for all. We did it. I think that is how I wrote a book, My Call. And then after the Constitution Day was celebrated, I wrote another book called Audacity of Dreams, because being a villager from Odisha, I think something big that happened. And I express my gratitude in the absentia, wherever he is, that had he have not misbehaved with me in my PTI days, perhaps I could not have thought of such an idea. So rather, instead of my expressing anger, I express my gratitude, because I also perhaps in my heart a volunteer. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, Namita, and all other participants. I express my gratitude for having given me this opportunity. Oh, bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Now it's open to the house. Anybody having any question to our speaker? Now you can unmute your video and audio also, and you can ask question if you like so. Yes, Sunita ji. This is from Bokaro. Yes, madam. You can unmute, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can unmute and say. This is having some question, I think. Yeah.
इनको जिसको सर्विस करनी है,
नेट की प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है। जी 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 जी, नेट को प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है बीच में, क्योंकि यहाँ है ना सर्दी, कश्मीर है, कश्मीर।
Just a sec.
Yes.
Naresh,
कर दो, म्यूट कर दो जी। हाँ, सुनीता जी, do you have any question? Do you have any
नहीं, मैम।
question? Okay,
नहीं,
okay.
मैं सुन रही थी, बहुत
अच्छा।
अच्छा उन्होंने बताया। सर
जी।
से मेरा एक ही बात कहना था कि सर ऐसी बात नहीं है कि हिंदी सभी नहीं जानते हैं, लेकिन हिंदी का प्रयोग करना नहीं चाहते हैं।
okay, may I answer?
और रह गई बात संस्कृत की, संस्कृत तो मेरी देवभाषा है सर, और मैं तो संस्कृत की ही मैंने क्या कहूँ, उसी के मेरा तो ओतप्रोत है, पूरा जीवन ही ओतप्रोत है।
Sunita ji, perhaps can I answer?
Yes, please.
Yes, जरूर सर।
Sunita ji, perhaps you missed my point. The plays I read is written in Hindi by me. Okay, I say you must love your language.
Yes.
Right. Love your mother tongue. Right.
बिल्कुल सर।
But the moment you say because you do not know Hindi, you do not deserve to live in this country, is something like
I know sir everything, but not necessary to talking in English also. You can talk in Hindi, then I can understand.
Listen. Hindi or English, both are communicating languages for us.
Okay. Yes, we communicate.
Just a second. If somebody is from Tamil Nadu, he doesn't know Hindi, does it mean he has no right to live in this country? If somebody is from Kerala, so there has to be, Hindi is promoted, okay? Hindi is how many year old? Just 400 year old, isn't it? Just 500
mother tongue, Matri
maybe, but it's just 500 year old. So what I am trying to say, every language has a beauty.
Yeah.
Every language has to be respected.
Yes.
And today it is Hindi, tomorrow it could be some other language. You never know. Sanskrit was a great language. Today Sanskrit is gradually is getting into the oblivion. As the society grows, you have to adopt. And in the process of adoption, I may learn Hindi, I may converse in Hindi, but the moment you impose it on me, it becomes a cultural imposition.
Yes.
And cultural imposition has got a very dangerous consequence. That's what I tried to say. Otherwise, I love Hindi. मैं भी हिंदी में बात करता हूँ. वे जो शपथ में पढ़ा मैं खुद हिंदी में लिखा हूँ.
अहम किंचित कथितुम् इच्छामि प्रातः एव. आप प्रारंभ से जब सुबह उठते हैं तो एक बोलते हैं ओम नमः शिवाय, या धरा को छूते हैं, या कराग्रे वसति लक्ष्मी कर मध्य तो सरस्वती. जब आप बोलते हैं तो उस समय इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, हम लोग सिर्फ संस्कृत बोलते हैं. या मैं जब पूजा के रूम में जाती हूँ तो मैं शुरू करती हूँ वक्रतुंडा महाकाय, वहां से मैं शुरू करती हूँ. वहां मैं इंग्लिश नहीं बोलती हूँ. हमारी राष्ट्रीय भाषा, हमारी सर्वेषु भाषासु जननी अस्ति.
That's right. That's
किम
right.
प्रयोजनम संस्कृत और हिंदी ना बोल के मैं अंग्रेजी ही बोलूं.
सुनीता जी,
क्षमा करेंगे सर, मैं बहुत
no,
अनजान हूँ
I love it.
आपकी.
I love it.
क्षमा चाहूंगी अगर
I-
किसी बात से ठेस लगे तो.
No, I love it.
मैडम
Let me
मैडम
tell
हम
you,
तो कश्मीरी बोलते हैं ना. हम तो
Suppose
हिंदी
मुझे
अंग्रेजी हम
हिंदी-
कश्मीरी बोलते हैं.
मुझे हिंदी
आपको
संस्कृत
कश्मीरी
नहीं
आती है?
आता है, तो क्या करेंगे आप?
हाँ, उस
Suppose
जगह
मुझे-
के लिए.
That's what. I'm only putting only that condition, madam. Only that condition. It's a connecting language, isn't it? Otherwise, I would have been too happy to speak in Odia. Why did I speak in English?
सर मैं एक अपना संस्मरण सुना रही हूँ. एक बार की बात है, मैं ट्रेन में जा रही थी तो वहां पे साउथ इंडियंस थे और लोग थे. कुछ लोग इंग्लिश में ही टॉक कर रहे थे, लेकिन हमने वहां पे सिर्फ संस्कृत बात की, संस्कृत में ही वार्ता की. मैं पूरी भी गई, वहां भी हमारा प्रोग्राम था, तो मैं वहां भी मैं वहां के जो मेन पन्ना है उनसे भी, उनके साथ भी मेरी बातचीत हुई. तो मैं संस्कृत में ही बात की. मुझे गर्व हुआ. मुझे तो ऑब्वियसली अपनी भाषा को कम्युनिकेट करने के लिए, जहाँ पे हमारी भाषा को नहीं समझते हैं तो मैं अंग्रेजी में बोलती हूँ. ऐसी बात नहीं है कि मुझे भाषाओं से लगाव नहीं है. आप जो भाषा कहेंगे मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन प्यार है एक अंदर, एक अगाध प्रेम जो कहते हैं, उसके जैसा बिलवेड हमारा कोई नहीं है मेरी अपनी भाषा के.
यही मैं बोलना
उसको मैं
चाहता
उतना
था.
प्यार करती हूँ जिससे एक मेरा मैं क्या बोलूं, मैं अपने
यही
भावनाओं को व्यक्त नहीं कर पा रही
यही
हूँ.
तो मैं बोला कि आप मातृभाषा को अगर कनेक्ट नहीं करोगे तो आपका माँ को प्यार नहीं कर पाओगे. अगर माँ को प्यार नहीं कर पाओगे तो वतन को कैसे प्यार करोगे?
जी बिल्कुल.
See, mother tongue is like mother's milk. You can't, अलग नहीं कर सकते. अगर जमीन से अगर आप अलग हो जाओगे, अगर रूट टूट गया तो आप रहोगे कहाँ? है ना? मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ.
क्षमा चाहेंगे सर अगर एक भी बात से कहीं कोई तकलीफ हुई होगी.
You said my words.
मैडम सही बोल रही है. मैडम आप
मेरी
सही
बात
बोल रही
बोली.
Okay.
Absolutely right.
Right.
Let us wind up here. I just want to do two things. One thing is सलीमा जी आपके लिए और सुनीता जी के लिए भी ये थोड़ा समझ लीजिए और मुझे बाद में बताएंगे आप लोग.
जरूर से
मातृभूमि मातृभाषार ममता जाहृदे जनमी नहीं ताकू जदि ज्ञानी गणरे गणिबा अज्ञानी रहिबे काहीं. Which language it is?
मैडम आपने
translate.
उड़िया में बोला है,
Right.
मुझे बताओ मैं कश्मीरी में बोलूं यहाँ से?
नहीं
आप
नहीं,
समझ
ये
लेंगे
आपकी
कश्मीरी.
जो
So it's
कहते हैं कि
really
जननी
very
और
या सुनीता जी मैं बोला
जननी और जन्मभूमि, उसी प्रकार से माने माँ और मातृभाषा, ये इतने उसके प्रति इतनी ममत्व होती है, इतनी ममता होती है कि उसको हम लोग कभी भी विस्तारित कर ही नहीं सकते, छोड़ ही नहीं सकते, विस्मृति नहीं हो सकती है.
At the same time, I'm also having love to my participants, those who are present over here. हाँ, सबका कुछ मन में कुछ शिक्षा कुछ जानकारी के लिए मैं अभी देख रही थी बहुत बिस्मिता वो लिखा है सर थोड़ा हिंदी में बताइए कोई इंग्लिश में समझने के लिए कोशिश करते हैं ठीक है लैंग्वेज जो भी है हम गर्व करेंगे वी बिलोंग्स टू इंडिया एंड इंडिया इज माने वेयरिंग ए चेन
India
ऑफ
is the best.
14 लैंग्वेज एंड वी फील प्राउड ऑफ दैट
East and West.
यस
India is the best.
इंडिया इज द बेस्ट सो अभी मैं चाहती हूँ मेरे जो फ्रेंड्स है यो विजय मैम ओके वेलकम सो अभी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं सलीमा जी एंड आई वांट टू प्रेजेंट a moment to virtually to our guest on behalf of all the members of this webinar to our beloved guest. This is a small memento, sir. This for you. Please acknowledge virtually. दिल्ली में हमारा फ्रेंड है और ये छोटा सा तोहफा है उनके लिए हम लोग को याद रखने के लिए और इसमें हमारा सबका प्यार है वो जगन्नाथ जी है जगन्नाथ जी नहीं है तो हमारा ये प्रोग्राम नहीं चल पाएगा उनका आशीर्वाद से अभी तक हम लोग 130 पर टच किए हैं और इतना खुशी की बात है चाहे जो भी हो जाए लेकिन हमारा ग्रुप बहुत बॉन्ड है हमारा बीच में चाहे वो सलीमा जी हो या विजया जी हो या सुनीता जी हो सारा भारत जोड़ के हम एक जैसे बना दिया हमारा वेबिनार टीम को एंड रियली आई एम ग्रेटफुल टू ऑल द मेंबर्स नाउ इट्स टाइम to present one certificate as a replica and today we are going to present it to Salima ji. Salima Parveen. She
Okay.
is the Joint Commissioner, Bharat Scouts and Guides, Jammu and Kashmir State. I'd like to request our guest of today's evening, Biraja ji, to present virtually the certificate to Salima ji.
Okay, thank you, madam.
And all of you will get the certificates later on. And we are having a very dynamic student volunteer, Anshuman Sahu. And for the sake of Sunita ji, I would like to request Anshuman, are you
Yes,
present
ma'am.
over? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Please पहले ये सर्टिफिकेट रिसीव करिए उसके बाद आपको एक कार्यक्रम को खत्म करने के लिए पुराने वाले जैसे हम करते थे वेद उच्चारण करिए और ये प्रोग्राम को समाप्त करना है उससे पहले मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी वेद पाठ के बाद पहले रश्मि जी मिसेस रश्मि रेखा महापात्र द सीनियर टीचर फ्रॉम पुलिस लाइन हाई स्कूल पुरी she will propose a vote of thanks. Rashmi ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Jai
Okay.
Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.
Namaskar. Good evening to all. To all the
Good
members.
evening.
Can you
On the-
unmute your video, please? Rashmi ma'am.
No, no.
अरे बिरजा सर पुरी रे किछि दिन थिले से
Puri is my
कहि
hometown. Puri is my
Hometown.
hometown.
जदि ए बात दिल्ली रे अछंदी किंतु से पुरी रे थिले
My
बहुत
house is just behind the temple.
यस ओके रश्मि जी
Good evening to all the members on the 134th National Webinar on Solidarity through Volunteerism on the International Volunteer Day. Respected Principal Ma'am, Nalini Prabha Mahapatra, President, Bharat Scouts and Guides, Chief Commissioner of Bharat Scouts and Guides. Respected Sir Biraja Mahapatra, the Chief Speaker on this webinar. Respected Madam Namita Pattanaik, the convener and host of this program, Salima ji and Sunita ji and all the members, the younger members, Dibyanshu Padhi and SREEYA. Let Jagannath bless you. First of all, on behalf of our webinar
Thank you so
team,
much.
it is my privilege to convey vote of thanks on this auspicious day, on the International Volunteers Day. On my turning to the speaker, Biraja Mahapatra, I bow my head saying that from the Hitopadesh that Vidya Dadati Binayang Binaya Dadati Patratam Dhanamaprati Dhanardhanang Tatah Sukham. ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଆମର ବିରଜା ମହାପାତ୍ର ସାର୍ ଆଜି ଯୋଉ ଭଳି ଜଣେ ସୁପ୍ରିମ କୋର୍ଟର ମେମ୍ବର ହୋଇ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଭଳିଆ ହିତୋପଦେଶ ଉପନିଷଦ ଭୀମ ଭୋଇଙ୍କ କଥାଠୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପୌରାଣିକ ତତ୍ତ୍ୱଠୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରି ଆଜିର ସମାଜରେ ମୋଦିଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଆମକୁ ଥୋଇଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ କୌଣସି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଗାଁରୁ ଆଣି ସେ ସାରା ୟୁନିଭର୍ସକୁ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଆଜି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଉଦାହରଣ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ସ୍ଥାପନ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଏଷ୍ଟାବ୍ଲିଶ a good humanity, a good in all our soul. Really, sir, we are thankful to you. Lord Jagannath bless you, and let we all get a chance to hear, to be encouraged by you. I am thankful to all the members and especially to Namita ma'am organizing such type of programs on every week that which inspires us. All the members, I am in a hurry from marriage ceremony of my sister-in-law.
Oh,
So I want to shortcut it. I am thankful to all the members on behalf of our webinar team. I am very much thankful to all you. Let Jagannath bless you, our team,
yes.
to organize
Yeah.
such programs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, Namaste, Bina madam. Bina madam from Alliance, Bina madam here from Puri. So we
Namaste,
get
madam.
double blessing from Jagannath ji. Land Bina Das.
Bina
She's
madam,
very
Bina madam, ଆମ ବାପଘର ସାହିର ଦଇତାପଡା ସାହିର।
okay.
ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି?
ହଁ ମୁଁ ଦେଖା ହୁଏ ବା ତୋଫାନୀ ଭାଉଜଙ୍କ ଘର ପାଖରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଅଛନ୍ତି।
ହଁ ଦେଖା ହବ ତାହେଲେ ଆଉ।
ହଁ ମୋ ବାପଘର
Bina
ସେଇଠି
madam.
ସୁନନ୍ଦା ଦେଶବନ୍ଧୁ ବାବୁଙ୍କ ଘର।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ବହୁତ ବଢିଆ ସବୁବେଳେ ଆସନ୍ତି ବିରଜା ଭାଇ ଆଉ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ନାଁ ଶୁଣିଲେ ମତେ ପଚାରିଲେ
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ରିଏଲି ହି
ନମସ୍କାର।
ଇଜ ୟୋର ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ସେ ମୋର କଜିନ ହେବେ ମୋର ପିସି ହେବେ ମୋ ସାନ ପିସି କିନ୍ତୁ ପିସା ଏକ୍ସପାୟାର କରିବା ପରେ ସେ ବହୁତ ନିୟମାନ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆଶ୍ଚର୍ଯ୍ୟର କଥା ସେ ଲାୟନ୍ସ କ୍ଲବରେ ସେତେବେଳେ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ ଥିଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ତାପରେ ପରେ ସେ ଏତେ ମାନେ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ ହେଇଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ସୋସିଆଲ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ ରେ ଆପଣ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରିବେନି କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ନାହିଁ ଯୋଉଦିନ ଆମ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ରେ ଜଏନ୍ ନ କରିଛନ୍ତି ସୋ ହ୍ୟାଟ୍ସ ଅପ୍ ଟୁ ୟୁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ଭେରି ମଚ୍ ଗୋଟେ କଥାରେ ଖାଲି ଆମେ ଏଣ୍ଡ କରିବା ଇଟ୍ ହାପେନ୍ସ ଟୁ ୱାନ୍ that translate to everyone, translate to many. ये जो सुंदर वर्डिंग कहले गिरिजा सर आमे रियली ताको मन रखिबा बिरजा सर ये जो कथा बारंबार मु भाबे जे ए जिंसटा समस्त पाखरे नाही लेखिबा आमे समस्त कथा कहि पारुचे बा आमे समस्ते गोटे कोनोसी गोटे एक्शन ओरिएंटेड हे जाउचे किंतु लेखिबा समस्त पाखरे नाही लेखनी मन सेई मानक पाखरे अछि जहांकर गଳାରେ ସରସ୍ୱତୀ ମାଙ୍କର ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ ଅଛି ତେଣୁ ମୁଁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ମା ସରସ୍ୱତୀଙ୍କୁ ଆହ୍ୱାନ କରିବି ଏବଂ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି ସେ ବିରଜା ଭାଇଙ୍କର ଏମିତି କଣ୍ଠରେ ବସିଥାନ୍ତୁ ସେ କହୁଥାନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଶୁଣୁଥାଉ ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କର ହାତ ମଧ୍ୟ ଚାଲୁଥାଉ ଲେଖନୀ ଚାଲୁଥାଉ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଏତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଲାଗିଲା ସଲିମା जी ଯାହା କହିଲେ ଯେ ଏତେ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଲାଗିଲା ଯେ ଲାଗିଲାନି ଅଧଘଣ୍ଟା କଣ 45 ମିନିଟ ପଳେଇଲା ଜଣା ବି ପଡିଲାନି I think Mr. Lala Anantas Kumar Singh from Puri advocate you will be agree with me and Vijaya Dekha she is from Assam everyone waiting for this can you believe Biraja bhaiya you can't believe all these people they are waiting what new topic will come today and yesterday I called
Right.
15 calls from my children मैम आज जी नहीं कि आज प्रोग्राम नहीं कि छोटा बड़े ऑन होनी that means our channel is so vibrant you and really obliged to all of you
जीवन
Thank you,
होची
madam.
पानी
Thank you.
जीवन होची पानी फुटका हम वेबिनार फैमिली एमिते हे गलानी जे परस्पर न देखले भल लागुनी सेही रूपरे जीवन पानी फुटका से आराम लोक देखुछन सब मजा जानते लोक एठी अछन
बहुत खुशी लगुची आमे आउ दिने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऊपर पर्टिकुलरली ही हैज वास्ट नॉलेज रिगार्डिंग राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रीडम टू स्पीच जो आमे तो बहुत अच्छी आम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन द लार्जेस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एज ऑल ऑफ यू नो सो तार गोटे गोटे आमे आलोचना करिबा पिला मानक पाखरे आमे केते मेसेज दे परिबा पिला मानको आमे केते एनकरेज करि परिबा वी कैन शेयर द नॉलेज टू स्टैंड विदाउट नॉलेज वी कैन स्टैंड जानिले जाय हमें जिणीबा तो जानिबा पई पिला मन को किछि आमे जणैबा बी द higher I mean the old age people approaching senior citizen आमे माने जणैले पिला माने जानिबे तेनु मु सेति पई मोर बहुत चेष्टा जोठी आज पिला माने हमर रही जाइछंती समस्ते वेबिनार को अनुरोध करिथांती जे मैडम आमे निश्चिंत भाबरे रिकॉर्डिंग देखि दबु तो रिकॉर्डिंग रे से माने देखि कि मध्य मत प्रकाश करिथांती सो थैंक्स टू लॉर्ड जगन्नाथ for giving this wonderful team this team of webinar एतिकी कही लास्ट गोटे पदरे आमे सारिबी से होची सार को तो धन्यवाद देबा बर्तन जिते हमर स्पीकर अछंदी समस्ते बिकम आवर फैमिली फ्रेंड लाइक सो वर्तमान टू बिरजा भाई हम भितरे जणे हे जाइछंती तेणु तांकू आपण अति निजर भावंतु एवं आगामी दिन रे आपण माने मध्ये तांकू फोन करि परिबे मेल करि परिबे तांकटो नॉलेज नै परिबे ही इज अ बिफिटिंग पर्सन आउ एनी एक्टिविटीज हला ही इज द पायनियर आमे गोटे बंधु को हमर हरई थिलु गत कोरोना रे डॉक्टर देवाशीष पाणिग्राही तो डीजी पुलिस आमे बहुत खुशी थिलु एमती दिन आसीबो हमर एकाठी आमे सब वर्ष रे गोटे थर हो आ सेई दिन से हमकु तांकर कविता से भल कविता लिखंती तांको मिसेस मध्य से कविता को गीत आकार रे बोलंती झुमकी रथ किंतु जेते बेले से हमको छाड़ी चली गले आमे समस्त दुख रे मियमान थिला बेले प्रथम व्यक्ति से होइछंती बिरजा भाई बिरजा महापात्र जी जे कि गोटे इमिडिएटली गोटे बही ऑनलाइन रे रेडी कले आमे समस्त से आर्टिकल देलु एवं से एते सुंदर एडिटिंग हेतिला से बही देखिले प्रत्येक थर हमर मन पड़े केवल बिरजा भाई नुहे मन पकई दिए आमर पाणिग्राही सार कथा समस्ते बहुत भल पाती बहुत अमायिक थिला से आओ बापा मांकर गोटे पुओ थिले किंतु से एते स्नेही थिले एते स्नेह बोधुए से जल्दी जीवा पाई बोधे से स्नेहटा हमको बांटी देथिले बहुत मिस करूछु तांको प्रतिटी मुहूर्त रे डिसेंबर मास रे जेतोला हम एकाठी हो तांको कथा बहुत मन पड़े आज भी मते सेमती लागिला जेतोले बिरजा भाई कहया को आसिले मोर खाली देवाशीष भाई कथा मन पड़ुतिला तबे मन रखिबा सॉलिडारिटी थ्रू वॉलंटियरिज्म किपरि हमें करिबा बिल्डिंग ए रिसाइलेंट कम्युनिटी जहा भाई कहउथिले रिसाइलेंट कम्युनिटी एटा हो जाम पई कि बड़ जिंस काहे कि ना हमको से प्लैनेट को सेव करिबा को पड़िबो एवं हमें समस्त डेडिकेट हबा 17 गोल्स किते सुंदर सुंदर से पॉइंट देछि छुटिया छुटिया रे हमें मन रखिबा नो पॉवर्टी जीरो हंगर क्वालिटी एजुकेशन and climate action, good health and well-being, gender equality and peace and justice, local, national and global partnership. Wonderful things. समस्त मते कहते काहे national कहूछु ए वेबिनार को because it is national, it is global partnership. हमें समस्त एटिरे पार्ट अच्छे एटा केवल केबे भी अपन भाबिबे ने नमिता पटनायक करूची. This webinar is done by the entire team. Starting from Salima ji, Vijaya madam, Sunita madam, police sevak sir, almost all समस्तଙ୍କ कंट्रीब्यूशन रे एटा होची एवं ये जेते भलो हबो हम पिला मानकर बेस सेते सुंदर हबो ता न होइतिला जे ठंडा रे सलीमा जी बसी न थांते बा बिना मैडम कर आज अनेक कार्यक्रम भितरे भी हम पाखरे आज जोग देई न थांते पुणी थरे मो बिरजा सर को आज समस्तଙ୍କ तरफरु आंतरिक कृतज्ञता जनाऊची एवं अनुरोध करुची आगामी दिन रे आम संगे रहिबे हमको आहरी नॉलेज देबे नॉलेज एते छोटिया जिंस नुहे नॉलेज बहुत भास्ट वाइड तेणु तादर से किछि किछि बुंदा आम पाखको से दिल्ली रे रही शेयर करिवे हमर ए वेबिनार एंती चली थाउ जेते पर्यंत हमें जाई परिबा पुणी थरे समस्त
बिरजा बाबू बहुत बढ़िया कहले आ भारी खुशी लागला से हम पूरी लोक आ सेति बहुत भल लागिला आज नमिता मैडम जो कहले मातृभूमि मातृभाषा रे ममता जहारुदे जन्मी नहीं ताकू जदी ज्ञानी गण रे गणिबा अज्ञानी रहिबे काहे बहुत भल लागिला सुनिकरी आ मो बिरजा बाबूकर तो बहुत भल लागिला लाइनिज्म कथा भी ता भितर कहिसंती हमें लाइनिज्म रे काम करे बहुत भल लागिला पूरी लोक बहुत गर्व लागुची आपन को पई
ଆଜ୍ଞା ନମସ୍କାର।
ବହୁତ ବହି ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି, ବହୁତ ଆୱାର୍ଡ ପାଇଛନ୍ତି, ଆଉ ସେ ପ୍ରତିଟି ବହି ତାଙ୍କର ଶିକ୍ଷଣୀୟ, ପ୍ରତିଟି ବହି। ମୁଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବି ତାଙ୍କର ଅନଲାଇନ ରେ ମୋ ପାଖକୁ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଆର୍ଟିକଲ ଗୋଟେ ପଠେଇଛନ୍ତି, ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ଅଛି ସେଠି। ମତେ ସେଟା ତ ପଢିଲି, ବହୁତ ମଜା ଲାଗିଲା। ମୁଁ ଭାବିଥିଲି କଣ, କିନ୍ତୁ ତା ଦେହରେ ପାଇଲି କଣ। ତେଣୁ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଆମେ ଆଜି ଭେରି ହ୍ୟାପି।
But ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ part of that ସାଥୀ ଗପ ଉଆସଙ୍କର new book.
ବହୁତ ବଢିଆ ଲାଗିଲା, ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର। ଆମେ ପୁଣି ଥରେ, ମୁଁ ଚାହିଁବି ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଯଦି ଚାହିଁବେ, ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି ଭାଇଙ୍କର ଫୋନ ନମ୍ବର, ମେଲ ଆଇଡି। ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଯଦି ଚାହିଁବେ ମୁଁ ସେୟାର କରିବି। ଆପଣ ଯାହା ବି ଆର୍ଟିକଲ ଲେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, ବା ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ କହିଲେ, ଆପଣ ଜାଣିପାରୁଥିବେ ସ୍କୁଲ ମାନଙ୍କରେ କେମିତି ସେ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ କରି 1800 ସ୍କୁଲକୁ
18,000
ସରି 18,000 ସ୍କୁଲକୁ
entire country.
ଇଣ୍ଟର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ୟୁନାଇଟ କରିପାରିଥିଲେ। ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟିଏ ଗୋଟିଏ ଭାବନାରେ ଆଜି ସଂସାର ଚାଲିଛି। ତେଣୁ କିଏ ଜାଣିଛି କେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ ମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ
सर
ଗୋଟେ
हमें
କୌଣସି
एक्सक्यूज मी मैडम, एक्सक्यूज मी सर, हमें अपना नंबर दे देना, इनके मैडम को दे देना, फिर मुझे आएगा,
जी
ये मुझे व्हाट्सएप करेंगे।
श्योर श्योर
आपसे जरूरी मुझे बात करनी है,
श्योर
करिए ना,
श्योर
जब मर्जी
वो
करिए
फोन पर करेंगे हम।
करिए
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
राइट।
थैंक यू सर सो मच।
सो ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁଁ ରେକର୍ଡିଂ ଅଫ୍ କରିବି। ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଟିକେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି